Hi, I'm Tom and I talk about code. Welcome back to part 2 of my Python no libraries Discord bot build. Last time we mastered the gateway API, we learned how it worked, we're receiving messages, we're identifying ourselves to Discord, we have the basic protocol mastered, I think, right? Nothing's gone wrong so far. Today, we're going to sit down, we're going to smash actually handling the events that are coming in, we're going to get the flow working. Someone is going to react to a message, we are going to receive that event, we are going to kick something else off in the Discord API and add a role to that user so that they can get wonderful notifications when I go live on twitch.tv. So I think that's all I need to say about the introduction. Let's maybe come over just and draw a picture to remind ourselves where we are with this. So Discord is over here, our bot is over here, a user does something. Well, Discord sends events to our bot. We want to do some so we built this part. We built this, right? We identify ourselves to Discord. Discord sends us events in some kind of loop. And then we need to do something here and send information back to Discord. So what is this? This is what we're building today. I feel like this picture probably raises more questions than it answers. This should be an arrow. Cool. So where do we start with this? Well, if we dive in here, I've got the thing up. Let's just run it and make sure everything still works. Gateway protocol looks good, okay? So we send an identify message. This has an auth token, which I have masterfully starred out so that people can't steal it from me. It's got, we're asking Discord, we send intent. So we tell Discord we want to receive message reaction events. And then we give it some metadata about what library we're using. But we're using our own library, so like it doesn't really matter. And we get stuff back. Discord sends us things back, and that's really cool. So we get this ready event. So, when we get messages, so for example, I can now come into my Discord, I can leave a reaction. I'm not going to pull Discord up on stream just yet, because you will see when I react, we get a wonderful message, and the message name is message reaction at. So I now want to be able to take my gateway protocol, right? So I've got this gateway protocol object. Right, this class. I'm doing object-oriented programming for something novel. So we handle a message, right? When the op is 10, the server's asking us to identify ourselves, and we do. Otherwise we're just complaining about an unknown message. So we need to check for when the message op is 0. And yeah, unknown op in message 0. Cool. So we're treating everything else as an unknown, and that's great. So let's handle these messages with op 0. If we come in to the API, the gateway API, we're going to see somewhere in here, there's a lot of docs. We're going to see that everything with op 0 is basically one of these events coming in from the server, right? So a lot of these things, I think all of these things, in fact, maybe not hello, but like a lot of these things are going to be op 0. Yeah, cool. I think these things that don't specify an op are op 0. Anyway. The exact details don't matter so much. We're just going to dive in. We're going to say if message.op equals 0, and we're going to do some stuff based on that. And then if it breaks, we will go from there. But because we're using such a small subset of the Discord gateway potential events and whatnot, we're going to keep it simple for now. We're going to keep it lightweight. So if the op is 0, we want to get the name of the message, and we want to fire some event based on that. So let's say we grab event, let's grab the name, and let's grab it in lowercase. I think that's nice, right? So message name in lowercase. Then we want to do something like, we want to grab an event handler for this event. So let's say if event in, we'll have some like set of event handlers. We haven't built this yet. We will build this in a moment. Let's get a taste for it. Let's see what it looks like. So if we have the event in our set of event handlers, then we call self, then we just call it, right? It is a function, and we call it with the message. So we call some handler to handle the message. Otherwise, for now, let's just do a dumb print. That's not how we do things in Python. Print, what do we print? We print like unhandled event, and then we just give it the event name. Cool, just so we know something's going on. So now, there we go. We've handled messages with op 0. We don't do much with them, but this is how we're going to handle them. So we need to add this map of handlers. So this is just going to be a map, right? We get a handler by name based on whatever comes through in the message. So this means we need a constructor. We're going to have our self, we're going to have our token, because we're extending this gateway connection. Gateway connection takes a token. We're going to have to say super token. If you haven't done Python object-oriented programming before, this probably looks insane, but we're just calling the constructor of the superclass. And then we want to say self.handlers is an empty dictionary, okay? Because we're going to add handlers. We can say like self.handler handlers ready equals, right? So we could create a new handler that just prints out whatever we give it. Actually, we could just say that this is print. We could do like the whole first class function thing, but we don't want to define handlers like this, right? That's cumbersome. That's gross. We can do it. And for a demonstration, we will do it, right? So we can say g.handlers ready equals lambda x print ready. We'll just print ready. Easy. And so now when we run this, we'll get something printed out when we hit our ready, or we'll get a syntax error. Nope. Nailed it. Nailed it first time. So we handle this message, right? A message comes in, we dispatch to some handler that we define. So this is perfect. So this is what we do here, right? So op 0, we get the name, and we look up some event handler. So if it's ready, we do one thing. Some function, right? If it's React, we go to some other function. Very, very simple dispatch. But unfortunately, the ergonomics suck. We get this instance, we have to do all this stuff, we have to know the fields called handlers. Isn't this kind of gross? So we're going to save the day with Python decorators. And decorators look scary, okay? So we're going to, instead of doing that, we're going to say g.event async def foo print ready. Right, we're going to convert it from something that looks like that to something that looks like this. Python decorators are really, really cool. They allow us to annotate functions with other behavior, okay? We can extend the very process of function definition to do other stuff. And they look scary. They can feel a bit scary, but at the end of the day, this is just going to be a function that takes a function and does something else. So we are going to create a function called event. What event is going to do? Event takes a function and it is going to, well, it's going to take two things. It's going to have a self, and it's going to have a function. Okay, the self is going to be the G, is going to be the object that we're calling this, decorator on, and then the function is going to be whatever we define after it, right? So we take a self and a function, and we are going to self. We're going to self.handlers fn name equals fn. So we're going to do some magic, and we are going to create a handler. We're going to dynamically get the name of the function that we're talking about, and we're going to set that to the function itself. Kind of magic. And then we also have to return something. So we'll return the function for good measure, right? So what we would end up with in this case is, I actually don't know what we end up... Basically, we can do this. Let me write an example that is going to show this a bit more clearly. Let's make a decoration called wrap. What wrap is going to do, we're going to print f.name. I believe we can do this in Python. We can just say .name like that, and then return f. What this is going to do is, if we have a function annotated with wrap, let's say def hello, when this code gets reached, this will get evaluated. So we'll create a function called hello. Whatever wrap returns becomes the function hello. So we get just this function back, but we do some behavior before we get this function. So what would happen if we call this what would happen when this gets evaluated is, it would print out the name of the function. Then when we call it, we print out hello. But we could actually change the function that gets called. So let me go crazy here. Hello. Return sys dot. Let me do this in a different file. This is going to get messy otherwise. Python let's make a slightly more interesting example. Okay, so just to make this a bit more exciting. So we've got a function that prints out hello us, right? Or hello whoever. And we've got a thing that also prints out that we're making the function. Now, what's interesting about this is, if I get rid of the actual function call, if I never call this function, what do you think will happen? Will this decorator still run? Will this still print out? And the answer is yes, okay? And we will see why. Because this gets called when this function gets created, right? And whatever we return becomes the function hello. And so we can go a step further. We can say, instead of just returning something, we can go def foo n. Actually, let's not define an n, and let's say f let's say we just hack into this function. We return a function that takes an argument and does nothing with that argument. It always prints out hello Jimmy instead, right? This becomes a completely different function. We can wrap the function in something else. So even though we say hello Tom, it doesn't care. And we can even go further. We can completely override the behavior. We can ignore the function that gets passed in entirely. I feel like this was a bad explanation of decorators, but I think those three examples are meaningful. And if it's confusing, it kind of is confusing. It's a function that takes a function and does other stuff with the function. It's natural if you're used to like Lisp and Haskell and stuff. It's not very natural to see in a Python-y world. But anyway, we're going to use this. Okay, we're going to create a function that does something much simpler, right? We're going to say def event. It's going to have a self and it's going to have a function. So if you have a decorator that's defined as part of an instance, so if it's, like it's not just event, it's defined as part of a class, so it has a self argument. I think this is the order they go in. They may go in a different order. Anyway, self.handlers f.name equals f. And that's all we have to do. So now we have to actually give this the name of the event, right? So the other example would be g.event async def on reaction add x. And please do stop me and ask questions if I'm going too quickly with this stuff, if my explanations aren't good enough. Asking questions will help me hone in on a better explanation. Also, for anyone trickling in wondering why I'm sitting like this, my microphone stand is broken. If you have any tips for a new microphone stand, please let me know. I want to hear them. So on reaction add, we'll say print reaction added, and this should just work. Again, this is why function decorators can be kind of magic. We should be able to run this and it will just work. And gateway object has no attribute event. There's two problems with what I've done. There's two problems. Has no attribute event, but it does have an attribute event because that was the wrong indentation. Okay. As for the other problem, I've defined these as async methods because they should be. But when I did this up here, I did not deal with this as an async method. So we're going to await it. That's all we need to do. Morello's used them before for extending base class functions. Yeah, so it can be cool for that kind of thing as well, right? I think ideally, I could probably also... Because it would be nice to be able to have a class that extended gateway. So to be able to say class foo extends gateway and have a method, just have a method called ready. And then when the object gets created, when like gateway gets created, it iterates over all of its members and sees if any of them are functions called an event name. I don't know. Or maybe it would have to, I don't know. Maybe if you like had a, there are lots of different ways you could approach this. None of them seem very satisfying to me, but that's something I'm thinking about. That's something in the back of my mind. I would like that more than having to make an instance then define methods, but I don't hate this either. So let's see what happens when we run this now. We get a ready, and if I come in and add a reaction, so this is, me printing out something in response to our event. Let's add a reaction. Message reaction add. I think I called my event the wrong thing. Yeah, message reaction add. Message reaction add. Beautiful. Now, there is also an important thing, okay? The Discord API. The Discord API tells us, perfect, we now detect this. The Discord API tells us that we can only call, we can only send identify messages, so this message, 1,000 times in a 24-hour window, which doesn't sound like loads, but I'm starting and stopping this fairly often, so that could be bad. We got to think about that. And the Discord API does actually give us something that we can do about it, which is really nice. It gives us, where are we? 1,000 disconnections. 1,000 identify calls to a WebSocket in a 24-hour period. Does not include resume calls. So if we crash, if we die, if we lose connection somehow, if I'm just testing things, disconnections happen, especially with persistent connections. This can happen. You know, this can and will happen. So when we get a ready, we can store a session ID, and then we can try resuming our session. And then this will actually play missed events, which is really cool. Yeah, nice. So we need to implement this. We really need to implement this. I think in general, my approach is going to be that when things go wrong, the bot should just die and read our session token in from like a temporary file or something, if it exists. Try this. If it doesn't, again, maybe just die and restart without the session file there, and just, you know, re-identify yourself. I don't know. I like the idea of having minimal logic and minimal state and just being able to run the program in a loop that infinitely restarts it. So, you know, die soon, be stateless, and then just, you know, support like lots of restarts. That sounds like a cool way to operate. But anyway, we've got this reaction add message. I got a little bit sidetracked there because there are a few different message types we do need to handle. Like we do need to handle this invalid session. Or we need to understand it at least. It basically should make our program die. Anyway, we get a reaction added. So what we need to do off the back of this, we need to get what the emoji is. So we do that by the emoji name. We get the user, so member. So this is Discord has this interesting concept of a user and then a member. So a user is the actual like person, the actual user, and then the member is that user as the member of a server, right? So they have different identifiers, I believe, which makes sense. And I had that guild member, yeah. Guild widget, guild member object, yeah. So okay, guild members have a user. So guild members don't have an ID, but they have some data associated with them and then centrally, I guess, identified through this user object. That's good to know. That's important to know. And that's kind of what we see here, right? A member is a user and then roles and then a nickname and then blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we really want to get the user ID. But how do we add a role to a user? Create guild, get guild, blah, 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 list active threads, modify current member, add guild member role. Guild ID, members user ID, role ID. Easy, easy. So we're not using the HTTP API at all yet, but we're about to. Cool, so let's go into Gateway Protocol. Actually, let's go into Gateway. Actually, let's draw this, right? We have the WebSocket gateway. Let's call it G, right? So this gets events Let's get a second color going here. This gets events, and then it doesn't. I don't actually think we're going to send events. I think we're just going to get events from Discord, right? Now, I would like to keep my HTTP part separate, because I think there can be a very clear line between these things, right? I don't think there's going to be any shared state. I don't think our session ID from over here is going to be relevant here. I don't think. Although maybe it is. Maybe that's how we can... I don't know if we have to log in separately, right? Appler... Where are we? Legal intro, blah, blah, blah. Where does it tell us about HTTP auth? OAuth? No, we just send the token, right? We don't need to worry about we don't need to worry about this at all. We just set the token in a header. I remember this. This is in here somewhere. This is in here somewhere. Discord.com/API. Authentication, here we go. Yeah, we just use the token. We just use the token. Love it. Okay, so that's real easy. So yeah, so we don't need any shared state between them. So I guess there's a token that both of these things use, but like, that's not really shared state as much as parent state. So what I'm kind of thinking, because then this is going to send requests to, the Discord API. So what if we use composition here? That's what I'm getting at. What if we have one super object that then contains the gateway and then contains the HTTP, right? This object then has, the like event decorator stuff. We can define functions as part of that has this and this in scope, right? So the gateway never thinks about HTTP. The gateway doesn't know HTTP exists, but we can create an object that sees both. So let's say, let's create http.py. Let's import requests. Let's make a class called Discord API. We have to take the token in as a parameter, self.token equals token, just like the gateway, but we're going to use it very differently. We're going to make a function called run. It's going to take a path. It's going to take a body. Actually, no, let's call this get self path. Let's call it run. Let's have one super method that's going to do everything, because we're going to have a few things we're going to do regardless of what request type it is, right? So if we do a get, if we do a post, if we do a put, not going to matter. We're going to need the same headers. We're going to potentially try and unpack the same error objects. Let's have one core function that does all this. So we'll have a path, we'll have a method, we'll have a body, and I think that'll be it. So let's go request, so let's headers equals. Alright, so there'll be a common set of headers. We have this authorization header. Let's actually just copy this whole thing out. That's going to be easier, right? That is not correct. I don't even know what I just pasted. Hopefully that was nothing sensitive. Wait, I did that weirdly. Hold on. I'm not confident in my ability to spell authorization, so we'll just like... There we go. But we don't actually want this token. We just want some other token. Self.token. Except we want that F here. Yeah, there we go. We got there in the end. And so then we're going to have a response is going to be requests dot something. So if method is get, then requests dot get path URL equals, we're gonna have some kind of like base, right? We need something, we need the Discord API base. So we'll say slash path, actually, or no slash, right? You don't normally, you'd probably start this path with a slash. I like it, I like it. Headers, blah, blah, blah. Request get path headers equals headers. Maybe, hold on. I'm having too many ideas here. So I want to be able to say if method is get, if method is put, blah blah blah. But I'm going to be repeating a bunch of stuff. So what if instead of this, what if I hold this function somewhere? I want to say runner requests dot get. Well, let's say runner equals none. If method get, then runner is requests dot get. Right, so we'll store a reference to the function we're gonna call. Else this is an exception. We'll just say raise exception unknown unsupported HTTP method. Love it. And then we just say runner path. So we're just using this requests API, right? I know I said no libraries here, but no libraries only goes as far as like the Discord context. We're not writing our own HTTP client. That would be insane. It's actually not that hard to do a basic one, but insane. Okay, path headers equals headers. Maybe if body. I actually think this is too complicated. You know what? I changed my mind. Headers equals headers. Requests dot put path headers equals headers. Body equals body. I think this is what we want to do. Resp equals requests dot post path headers equals headers. Body equals body. And then we just want to like return handle So this is a little bit of duplication, but it's like very minor duplication, all things considered. All things considered. Cool, so this either returns something or it dies. I love it. The Discord API. We need to define this constant. This is gonna be this. Love it. Nice simple URL. Nice simple URL. Cool. So now we just need this function called handle API response. This is gonna be, what is this gonna be? So we have our response. Let's have a look at the API for the requests library. I don't know if this is actually a real website. Is this a scam website? Is this their real website? I can never tell with Python search results if I'm about to get scammed and have all my Bitcoin stolen, or if this is going to be like a real site. Requests get r.status code. This is a really good thing to check up front. If r.status code greater than or equal to 300, let's say not equal to 200, right? We only care about 200s. We're a happy boy club. If it's not 200, then we're going to raise an exception. How do you spell? Exception, This probably actually, hold on. Because if it's a 500, it probably has an error body, right? And this is going to be somewhere, reference, array, yeah. So they have these error messages, right? So if it errors is present, this body looks unpleasant to unpack. Unpleasant to unpack. Okay, well let's print it out stupidly, I guess. Or errors in Does response.json always return something? Does it always return something even if there was no response? That's an important question. I guess we'll find out the hard way. Cool. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Again, we're going to unpack this in this function at some point. It'll be worthwhile to unpack these errors into more meaningful messages. For now, we're going to do this the fairly dumb way. Otherwise, we're going to return the body, right? I think this is good enough for now. So this will get us off the ground, right? This will get us off the ground. So we should be able to do this. If name equals main. So we're just going to have a little bit of testing code at the bottom of these files, right? This has been my approach so far. I like to do this with Python. You have a file, you have some logic in there. You just chuck some stuff at the bottom of the file so that if you run that file, it's kind of like a shitty unit test, but I'm too lazy and pressed for time in the context of a stream to write proper unit tests. I would be here all day. So if our name's main, then we want to make a D is Discord API. We're going to have some dummy token that doesn't really do anything. D.run. We're going to try and get, what's a good path? What's a good path? Get current user. I think that you can just go /users/@me. Users@me. And this is a get. I need these defined as constant somewhere, but anyway. V equals, and then we'll just print V out. So if I go Python 3, Python HTTP client, HTTP is not a package. No module name HTTP.py. That's weird. Import requests. urllib3. Import name. HTTP is not a package. Have I broken my Python install? Well, no, because I'm using a virtual environment. What is going on here? Let's clean up our virtual. Oh no, hold on. That was silly. While I create this virtual environment, I would what? Python virtual env? Oh, hold on, I'm still in a virtual environment. Okay. Eric, come on. Okay, something's going on here. Can anyone guess why that blew up? Because that was really funny. I was too hasty to delete my environment. Okay, I was way too hasty. It tries to import HTTP. Well, what happens when it imports HTTP? It tries to import my file called HTTP and blows up. That's hilarious. So what that actually means as well is, if I want to override for some insane reason, if you're a sadist and you want to change the way HTTP works within the requests library, you can make a file called HTTP that re-implements the interfaces that requests depends on. Requests will load them from the file in the directory you're requiring requests from, I guess. Is this really how Python works? Has something very strange just happened? Anyway, we didn't actually delete our env. We deleted some of our env. Okay, okay. Let's get rid of PyCache as well, just to be safe. Upgrade. What is going on here? Ensure pip upgrade default pip. Is my Python broken? Sorry, I've just got to like figure out what's going on here. Maybe Python updated and I don't have the right... What Python version am I on? Python 3.10.2. Has that updated lately? Python... Why has Python done this to me? It really must mean it really seems to mean that venv isn't doing its thing. Maybe pip is having issues. Hold on. Virtual env. Hold on, I don't think I had the right package installed. Why was this working before then? I updated my... I mean, who knows? Arch Linux. Sometimes things break when packages update. And this is the price we pay for everything being very up to date. You know, cutting edge Python setup bugs. I'm installing it. Oh boy, I'm installing it. Any second now we are going to have virtual environment back online. Cool. So I like this model, right? I like the idea that we're going to wrap things up in a bigger object. I like the idea that we're going to do these things separately and then use composition to marry them together. Oh my god, this install is not happy. I'm furious. Clicking furiously. And an error occurred. Oof. Okay, hold on. Is that going to kill the stream? Oof. Yeah, I've got a non-trivial update here for some reason. Damn. Hold on. Let me just. This may be unnecessary. This may all be unnecessary. Okay, well, yeah. Let's get this file called something else. Python. There we go, perfect. D.run, missing one positional argument, body. Alright, let's hold on. But we're just calling this API.py, okay? Let's be real. API.py. Body. So body is none. Body is going to be optional. What am I doing? Python API. Love it. So we are calling a weird... this has not mushed together properly. Discord API. Why has this gone weird? Because I'm passing the path directly. So URL. Love it. Let's go. Python. R is not defined because I called this a resp for response. Again, love it, love it, love it. R is not defined because we called it response. Cool. Let's split these out into two different cases because I think these, may be different exceptions, whatever. And let's actually just send the body, right? So, if the status code is invalid, we say invalid status code. Otherwise, we just send the error body. That makes a bit more sense. 401 unauthorized. Okay, that's good, right? This is an error we want to see. Because if you think about what we're sending, we've imagined a token. We pulled it out of nowhere. So we want this to fail. So let's go with open. We've got our token saved in a file called .token as token file. Token equals token file.read. This comes with a new line at the end. So we pass in, well, actually, let's get this with the last character truncated, which is going to be this new line. We pass in this token now. Now let's get some info about the bot. And we get info. So that, despite being a little bit painful, is how we get information about ourselves. I love it. I love it. Okay. We're going to install WebSockets globally. And it looks like we already have it. That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah, I played around with Python WebSockets a bit ago, didn't I? Huh. That must have been really early on in having this computer. Okay. Okay. Don't panic. So we have an API object that can make requests against the Discord API. We have a gateway object that can handle all of this event stuff. Now let's make the daddy of all objects the bot. Let's call it bot. It's going to be an object. Okay, so this bot. Oh boy, this bot. Oh boy, this bot. We're going to take in a token. Yeah, we're going to the gateway is going to be a gateway created with this token, and the API. So you've got self.g, self.api equals Discord API token. So we make two things that have the token passed in, and then we say self.g.run. Right? We start. Oh, actually no. Let's def run gateway g.run. We do it in here. We do it in here. Okay. So now we can go bot equals bot with some token. Now we can go bot.g.event. Okay, this is not quite as nice as I had thought, right? I hadn't really considered the ergonomics of having to do this inside a thing. I guess we could make a decorator for bot.event. I guess that makes sense, right? I don't like this. This is really ugly. This is hideous, in fact. So what if I go def event? Let's make a decorator that just calls another decorator. Let's go self.g.event self f. We don't need to pass self explicitly. Nice, nice. So now we can just say bot.event. Bot.event. Async def. So we're going to have an event for handling message reaction add. We're going to take the message. We're going to do something with this message, okay? We're going to do something huge with this message. We're going to do the unthinkable. We're going to bot dot. What are we going to do? We're going to bot dot. Where is it? Add guild member role. Okay, so we're going to call this API. We're going to bot dot API dot run. It's going to be guilds guild ID members user ID roles role ID. Here we go. How do I get the role ID? This is a good question. I don't know the role ID. Can I get that from the UI somehow? Server settings, roles. View server as role? No. How can I? Does Discord show me this information? I don't think it does. View server as role permissions. Manage members. Let's add ourselves to this bot and then see if I run, what is it? Python. Does this tell me what? Okay, hold on. Can I get the roles that I have in a guild? Role. Remove current, get guild, remove, get guild. Then I would need to know the current guild ID, which I can know. Where are we? Search guild, get guild member. Can I just do this without me? Okay, this actually isn't the most important thing right now. This isn't the most... We will... Because I can just add this role to myself as well. Add it to myself. Okay. There we go. Now when we get the message, we can see. Chichiyiti, thank you very much. If you right-click a role on the roles list in Discord, you can copy ID. I don't know, am I safe to show this? I think I'm safe to show this. Right-click a role in the roles list. I don't know. Do I have dev options? No. Can I enable that somehow? Interesting. Are there some like secret powers I'm missing? They're somewhere, huh? Hold on, let me see. User settings, my account. This I definitely can't show on stream. Privacy and safety. Anyway, no, it does. It really. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna get it because I'm just gonna run gateway protocol. Now I do need to be careful. I do need to be a little bit careful. So let's add a reaction. Okay, roles. So it's one of these role IDs. Let's see if we can get role info. That's a good place to start, right? So do I get a guild ID somewhere here? Channel ID, user ID, message ID, member, blah, blah, blah. Roles. Do I not? Oh yeah, here's the guild ID. Okay. Here we go. So let's say, search guild members, role. Get guild roles. Oh, that actually works a lot better. This is gonna be the descriptive kind of stuff we need. Let's go API. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much for the suggestion, Chichiri, but... Oops, sorry. But, unfortunately... Oh, okay, there's a developer mode. I got it. I got it anyway. Print d.run. So I want to go guilds. Not that. Guild ID, which is going to be this thing. And then literally just roles. We're going to get. And we're going to Python API. Yeah, look at this. Okay. Let's give us a bunch of info. Again, I hope this is all safe to show on stream. It should be, right? Name supporter plus plus name. It should be one of the bottom ones, right? Oh, JQ doesn't like this. This is not JSON. Column 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's weird. Permission, blah, blah, blah. The boss, that's me. Supporter, cool people. Server boosted, blah, blah, blah. Coffee bot. Bot ID. Supporter plus plus. TNTC bot. announcements, this one. Okay, let's make a file called constants.py. Let's go, let's make an announcement role, and let's also go guild ID, sorry. Cool. Let's just like stash these because we're going to use these a lot. We're going to refer to these a lot. Okay, so bot. So the guild ID is constant, is fixed. The user ID we have to decode from the reaction message, and the role ID is fixed. Announcement role. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So from this message, I need to run the gateway thing one more time. I really should have actually hold on, I think I did, right? Yeah, because I was worried about this 1000 identify limit, I actually wrote a little stub. So we can call against this, right? This is gonna give us example data. You can just run this as a little server, blah blah blah. That was actually something really cool I did off camera that I completely forgot about. And completely forgot to use. But anyway, it's not super useful. I guess it's useful for this where I'm like decoding things, right? So user ID, message ID. So literally just the user ID. It is that simple. But we need to check the emoji first. So if the emoji name is equal to something, then we pull out the user ID and we insert it into this line. So emoji equals message dot data emoji name. Emoji equals this. Then so we'll say red circle is going to be our emoji. Okay. Now I don't have emoji fonts set up on my computer, because X is complicated and Arch Linux is complicated and fonts are complicated. It's a lot of overhead. It's a lot to do. We'll get there one day. Especially for this project, I need to sort it out. But anyway, haven't done it yet. If the emoji is this, then print adding. We'll just do some log. We're going to get the user ID is the message data user ID. And then we do this. We run this call. And we do it as a put with no body. Okay. Else. Print skipping misc. Otherwise we just skip it. And it should be this simple. Let's see what happens. So let's go if name is main, then with open token as token file, token equals token file read. We have to trim off the new line at the end of the file. We make b equals, oh, we already made a bot, hold on. I need to do this after all this. Yeah, there we go. And then we just do this with the token. This is a long line, but that's okay. Pep8 would yell at us, but we'll be okay. We'll survive. Let's see what happens if I run this. And then I just need to say bot.run gateway. Is this it? Is this all I need? Invalid character. Huh. GTF. Did this not copy and paste correctly? What is this character? Large red circle. Huh. Python. Wait, oh, hold on. I'm an idiot. Again, can you spot what I did wrong? Okay, this is a classic. This is a classic copy and paste bug, especially when you don't have your font set up correctly. I pasted the value directly. I didn't put it in a string. Python, of course, supports Unicode strings. From gateway protocol import gateway. From API import Discord API. Beautiful. So now if I come in and react, I'm going to react with... let me pull my window over for this. Let's react with... Let's clear the reactions first. Well, we don't know how to do anything with reaction remove. That's good. Let's add a rat. Simple namespace object is not subscriptable. We have an error. We have a logic error. That's good. That's good to know. So, simple namespace object is not subscriptable. Actually... Let's... Cold Zero, hi, welcome. Welcome. I am about to make error reporting not bad. So what's happening here is an exception is getting thrown, and we're printing it out, because that's what we told Python to do, right? If we go into gateway.py, when exceptions rise up... For another thing, we also actually need to start this ping loop, so let's do that. We just print out the exception, right? Print it out. Great. Except... that we need to print out the stack trace too, otherwise it's pretty useless. Print stack trace. We may actually just like kill the program as well. I'm not totally sure. Print tb. There we go. I think all we do... Print tb. Print ex. Print exc, this is it. Yeah, so we kind of get the current stuff. We do a trace back from where we are. So anyway, print e, trace back dot print exe. Just like this. Easy. And let's actually f except. Cool. We need slightly better logging. We need slightly better logging. Import. So now if I run this, it'll tell us where this actually happens. Let's add another reaction just to the test. This is going to give us an error again. And of course it's emoji.name, because data is an object. We turned data into a simple namespace. I got too keen. So data is a simple namespace, but fields nested within data are, just dictionaries. So for example, user ID is a string. This is fine. Emoji we access with a dot because data is a simple namespace, but the field of emoji we have to access like this because it's a dictionary, and it's really hard to create simple namespaces recursively, I think. I think this now works. Bot.py, let's add a reaction and see what happens. We're going to go reaction 100. And we skip a miscellaneous emoji react. So now if I add a red circle, it should try and add a role to me. So what I'm going to do first is remove this role from myself. And let's see if this breaks the server. Red circle. Oop. Got an unexpected keyword argument. Body. Session request. Where does line 61 in request? Unexpected keyword argument body. Okay. Okay, so I think... Let's just like quietly get rid of the body parameter there. How about that? Let's just pretend that doesn't happen. We'll remove the red circle, we're going to add it back, see what happens in the logs, and it yells at us... Expecting value. Could not decode JSON. Okay. Okay, this isn't good, right? So, actually, there may not be a body. There may not be a body. So let's see what happens with errors. Oh, that's actually good, isn't it? Response raise for status. Why do this ourselves? Rest.raise for status. Look at this. Someone else has done the work for us. Let's just ride on those beautiful, beautiful coattails. Okay, so here we go. And this is the response anyway, so do we have a role? We do. It added a role to us. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do it again just to be safe, okay? So no role. No role. Boom. Role. If anyone wants to test this, you can literally add a red circle reaction. If anyone wants to test it out, red circle react to these eyes in my Discord. It'll be grand. It'll be grand. I guess it'll be on and off in the next few minutes while I test things. So why is this crashing? Why is this failing? Right? I'll leave it running. Hold on, let me move it to another window. So it crashes .json expecting value. What is this? So does this just not give us anything back? Where's my guild get roles? List of role objects for the guild. Yeah, but why? What is this returning? Okay, I'm gonna pull the bot down for a sec. I guess let's wrap this in a try for now. And if that's an exception, body dot return body dot text, maybe? Is it body dot text or body dot text? Is it a function or is it not? Response content. Excuse me a second. I will be right back. Alright. I don't know why this error handling has been so bad. Unless it's encoded? Raw? Dot text. Okay, we're just gonna go dot text and see what we get. Third time's the charm. Here we go. I'm gonna add this red circle back in. And did I do something very silly there? I did. Resp.text. We're really chewing through that 1000 limit. We're really chewing through it. Okay. And we get no body back, apparently. That doesn't seem right, but sure. Oh no, hold on, we're not printing the response or anything out, but... Okay, first off, let's actually just run this. Let's just run this on its own. Print d.run. This user ID equals something. Okay. Let's see what happens now if we run this. Guild ID is not defined. Of course it isn't. From constants import star. Bad request. Perfect. That looks really, really good, weirdly. Because then we can grab our own ID of the bot, right? The bot's ID. Go into this API. We can define it as the user ID. We can define it as the user ID. And we get no response back. Isn't that weird? Isn't that so weird? Can I get the headers? Is there like dear resp? What does this say? Next headers. Is it an object or is it a function? Okay, so we get a response 204. What's 204? No content. Huh. But the API docs definitely say that this returns something. Where did I... no, hold on. Oh, hold on. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'd go into row. Oh, returns a 204 empty. Well, if I could learn to read properly, that would make things a lot easier here, wouldn't it? Bot.py. So now all I need to do is check that the message ID is actually actually a good message. So let's create a welcome channel. Let's call it a startup channel. We're gonna make it private, I guess. Or not private, but permissions. People don't have permission to send messages or create threads. Create private threads. Now they can send messages in threads, that's okay. But yeah, add reactions is like the only thing I really explicitly want people to do. So we'll make a message saying welcome to the server. To get pinged when I go live. Don't do it yet though. Let's go welcome message. Let's do this in caps. Welcome message ID is going to be something, some constant. So now I'm going to react to this message. And I think we died because I don't think we were pinging. Let's see what happens if I do this again. So if I add a reaction to this thing, we'll log a bunch of stuff that I don't want. But we can see user ID, message ID. So if I use this, I can now check if we're reacting to this message or not. And based on that, decide if we actually want to do the thing. So let's go. Again, we could go do something higher level here. We could create some kind of dispatch like before. Let's just go really simple, message.data. I think it's called message ID, isn't this? Return. We just return. We just do nothing. Similarly here, we just return, right? We do nothing. I love it. I love it. So now, if I run this bot one final time, if I come back into the API and clean up some of this ridiculous logging that I was doing, we need to clean up the logging, okay? We need to clean up the logging. That would be a big win. Okay, so remove. That's great. We do this. and we should get the role. If anyone in chat wants to come in and test this out, please do. Okay, sorry, I should show this on my screen. Come in, chuck a red circle reaction on, and you should get the role. You should get the announcements role. And then I can ping you all in one convenient place when I go live. You can jump in. You don't have to rely on my janky schedule. It's great.